One of the most popular ways to stay fit is running. So preventing and rehabilitating injuries is crucial, and that's where aquatic physical therapy and beyond can help. Christy Olivati joins us now, and I understand you have some first-hand experience with this.
I do indeed. I've got some personal and professional experience with dealing with running injuries, but this winter I just trained for and completed the Princess Half Marathon at Walt Disney World and got up the next day to walk the parks. So I figure that is an accomplishment.
So what did you learn from that experience?
I think, first of all, many of us are not made for running. Most of us are not made for running. I think running takes any small weakness in our anatomy or anything like that, and it just really exacerbates it. So it's very important to realize that you really have to keep your body in balance, and when you get warning signs of an injury, you need to pay attention to it.
Okay, what are some of those warning signs?
Some early warning signs are just our pain, and especially when it's with running, some of the top areas are hips, knees, feet, and ankles. IT band syndrome is something that'll stop a runner in their tracks. It portrays as lateral knee pain, but it's coming from the structure down the side of your leg, and tightness there typically comes from weakness in other areas, like your core and your glute muscles. Plantar fasciitis is another big one, and that's when you get up first thing in the morning and you have sharp pain at your heel. A lot of times small changes can improve this. You know, it may be weakness again in the front of the lower leg, it could be tightness in the calf, it could be footwear.
Right.
But the longer it goes on, the longer it takes to treat, and the longer you stay away from running, the harder it is to get back into.
So what kind of recommendations can you share to help people avoid these injuries when they're running?
Sure. I think, again, I think there's so much to learn, and you definitely learn a lot along the way, but if you can get good help from professionals, it makes a world of difference. Everything, the body always works best when it's in balance. Running doesn't promote balance. Running promotes tightness in your hip flexors and your hamstrings and your calf muscles, and typically these injuries follow with that. So I think you need to definitely heed early warning signs, and you need to be assessed immediately. As physical therapists, we can both look at your running style to see what can be improved on. We can work on tight muscles, we can work on joint pain, and with aquatics, we've got the water, we've got the ability to have you in the water training, so you lose a lot less time with your running program.
So you can train before you, or hopefully you don't get an injury, but even if you're well, you can use aquatic physical therapy to get you in a good place to start a running program.
It's definitely, it's a great thing to have somebody assess how you run. I think shoes are important, but that's just one tiny piece of the puzzle, and we all have different anatomy, and when you can get another set of professional eyeballs on that to check it out and assess where your weak areas may be, you can definitely head off injuries a lot sooner.
Okay, so for the people who end up getting injured anyway, even though they follow all these steps, they get injured anyway, can you tell us about how you treat them at Aquatic Physical Therapy?
Sure. We spend a nice long hour with you just to get an idea. We want to know past medical history. We want to assess where your pain is, what all can be contributing to it, because it can be coming from higher up, it can be coming from lower down on the body, and when we work with you, we want to know what goals are important to you. So if you're a runner, that's something we want to get you back to.
Right.
If you weren't a runner, we might not be getting you back to running. But it's very important for us to be able to assess that. Your body figures out the path of least resistance. So your body always figures out a way to do what you're asking of it. It just may be deteriorating other structures. And if we can work on that, if we can improve the strength, the flexibility, improve your running pattern, then I think it's something you'll be able to do for years to come, instead of that nice 6-month jaunt and then you're done with it.
So you're still running?
I'm getting back to it. I did a short hiatus after the race, but I was so pleased to be able to get up the next morning, throw my shoes on, go to the parks, and not feel like I was limping around for 3 days. And it was all in the training, because I've done one without training. And it was a whole different story.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
You can get in touch with Aquatic Physical Therapy at 919-870-4444 or aquaticpt.net.